Except my STEEZ know what the fuck going on, man. Yes, Lord. Bring you the last power rankings of the season, man. Round 23, last one of the season. Home and away season is over, as we all know. And now we gotta see where every team falls on the form ladder, man. So let's go ahead and get to it, man. Teams had the opportunity to not look so bad on the last one. I go ahead and start at the bottom of the top. So let's get to it, man. 18th spot. We're gonna have a change here, man. The West Coast was at the bottom, 18th spot last week. This week we'll have North taking that spot, and they took the wooden spoon this year in 2022. Yeah, we just have to go North at the bottom. This week they got blown out by Gold Coast, and West Coast. We'll get into them a little bit, but I think North is just getting blown out by teams that aren't as good as the teams that West Coast are playing. West Coast are being a little bit more competitive, so for that reason, I have to have North at the bottom. They look like they're ready for next season, or they're looking forward to next season and trying to put this season at the current season behind them and not look back. So I have to go North at the bottom, man. 18th spot. Now the 17th spot, I'm gonna go West Coast. They didn't win either. They lost to Geelong, which is the best team in the comp right now, and finished with the minor premiership. So you can't really fault West Coast for compared to North, at least. They looked better than North did, more efficient. But they eventually, obviously, they haven't been winning games, bro. Both teams are 0-5 in the last 5, and both teams are 1-9 in the last 9. So they are comparable, however you want to pronounce it. But at the end of the day, they're both similar, but just the competitiveness is the way that you have to split it, and West Coast is just at the moment a little bit more competitive, so I have to go with that. At the 16th spot, I have GWS. GWS in the last 5 is 1-4, 1 wins, 4 losses. In the last 10, they won 2 and 8. They won 2 games, lost 8. So GWS is staying. Obviously, last week they were 16. They'll stay at 16 this week as well. GWS has just been really disappointing, bro. I guess I have to say what I had to say last week. I'll continue to say what I said last week. I feel like they just need a fresh start to next season, bro. They have the talent there. I think they are a talented squad. But for some reason, just a couple weeks after they got the new coach, it just shit fell apart. I'm not sure if the honeymoon phase was over with Mark McVay, and as the season went on, they just didn't want to play for him either, or they realized, or they knew quickly that he wouldn't be the long-term solution. And so I'm not sure, man, what's going on down there at GWS. But for that reason, I don't think they're as competitive as the teams above them, even though some teams have fallen off this week. GWS just had to really just win some games, bro, and they haven't been able to do that recently. So I have to have them at the 16th spot. 15th spot, I'm gonna go Essendon. Essendon is down 3 spots compared to last week. They're 1-4 in the last 5 games, and they're 5-5 in their last 10, bro. And the one win they have is against North, bro, in the last 5. So they really could be 0-5. And Essendon has been really disappointing. They got smoked this week too, bro. And Essendon is like a sore disappointment, bro. Like just falling out of finals last year and just continually putting up these efforts and getting destroyed, bro, and pounded. It's definitely disappointing, and they didn't drop too far last week, but just it's definitely compounded the way that they keep losing and losing and losing. So they had to take a big loss, and they fall 3 spots down on the ladder, and they'll finish this year at the 15th spot on the form ladder, man. They're just giving hints of how they played earlier in the season, bro. They had a little patch of form in the middle of the season, but that's all they were able to pull out for a couple games. So gone. 14, I have the Saints. They're up 1 spot from last week. Even though they did lose to Sydney, which is a respectable loss. They didn't get blown out at all. And Saints have been hanging in there for the last couple games. They're 2-3 in the last 5 and 3-7 in the last 10. They haven't been able to catch many wins, and they have fallen down the form ladder, but they do move up 1 spot due to them being able to stay competitive within the last couple weeks, especially against Sydney, who's definitely the second hottest team in the AFL, I think, at the moment. So no shame there. And really, they were 1 win. They were just a couple kicks, accurate kicks away from actually knocking off Brisbane. So last week, well, the week before. So they haven't been playing too bad. But some teams are able to snatch wins, and they haven't been able to do that. So we'll go ahead and drop the Saints. We'll drop the Saints at the 14th spot. At 13 spot, I will have Blue Baggers. 1-4 in the last 5 to finish the season, which is fucking terrible disappointing. And 3-7 in the last 10. We'll stay at the 13 spot. We had great moments, bro. We were up 40 plus on Collingwood this past week and ended up folding the game. Just can't finish games, bro. And it shows the last 2 weeks. Lost one kick throughout the last 2 weeks. So you don't get rewarded for those great moments that you have during the games. But you also don't get penalized for losing the game too much, considering how much you were up, and you definitely had the game in your hands. Carlton can win games, but they just don't know how to, if that makes sense. So let's stay at 13. At the 12 spot, I have Hawthorn who will move down 2 from last week. They were at 10. They're 2-3 in the last 5, and they're 4-6 in the last 10. Hawthorn had an opportunity to spoil the Western Bulldogs finals campaign this year, and they actually failed to do so. They had their moments last game, but it looked good. They were up on the Dogs at moments, but the Dogs were able to wrestle it back, and the Dogs wanted it. So Hawthorn has got their recent form kind of knocked down a little bit. Obviously, when we first started it, they were 4-1 in the last 5, and they've fallen down now to 2-3. So they've been dropping a couple games, man. They apparently they don't want to spoil teams' finals chances, which I'm disappointed in. Last year, Hawthorn was a dangerous team at the end of the season, even if they weren't in the 8. You just didn't want to play them because they would have been able to at least either knock a team down or draw. So you guys Melbourne last year. So yeah, the Hawks don't look too bad, man. They're just on a negative trend from where they were at. So yep, that's them at the 12 spot. At the 11 spot, we have Port, and they're up 3. Port's on an upward trend. They're 2-3 in the last 5, and they're 5-5 in the last 10. Port's coming off a dismantling of the Adelaide Crows in a showdown matchup, and we know those rival teams tend to get up for these. And Adelaide didn't get up for them, and Port really strangled them, man. And Port, this is the second week back-to-back that Port has been a dominant force, bro. They've been looking great, and they had a strong end to the season, so they definitely get rewarded by moving up 3 spots up to number 11. So shout out to Port for doing that, man. Them boys was looking good. I wish they would have been able to pull that out in the beginning, and maybe we can have a little bit more controversy in the finals toward the end, even though it was already great controversy. But Port, good job, man. All right, at the 10th spot, we have Adelaide. They moved down 1 spot. It could be debatable whether they moved down to Port, because obviously Port is at 11 and Adelaide just lost to them. But Adelaide was on a win streak, man. 3-2 in the last 5 and 4-6 in the last 10. So they have had their form. And Port is off a 2-game win streak, so I can see that. But I don't think it's warranted to move Adelaide down 2 spots after that loss. Considering that they have, I think it was a 3-game win streak, if I'm not mistaken. All right, so they're at the 10th spot. At the 9th spot, we have Gold Coast, who is up 2 after whooping North's ass, whooping their ass pretty badly. And Gold Coast is 2-3 in the last 5, 4-6 out of the last 10. And Gold Coast turned it around, bro. I think Gold Coast is definitely a beneficiary of Adelaide losing. Obviously, Gold Coast jumped Adelaide in this list this week. Adelaide took a tough loss, man. And I think Gold Coast, they looked real good this game, bro. I ain't gonna cap it. They definitely could have. They left points on the board. They could have whooped North's ass. How much did they win by? They won by 67. They could have whooped their ass by plenty more, bro. Just the inaccuracy and the binds versus the goals, man. Inside 50. So Gold Coast moves up 2 spots for those reasons. At 8, I have the Dogs, who are 3-2, 6-4 in the last 10, and 3-2 in the last 5. The reason why they stay there is because I don't think their win was too great against the Hawks. They did what they needed to do. They just squeezed by, but it wasn't too convincing, bro. The Dogs have been looking good. They stay where they're at, and they've been finishing the season pretty decent, bro. So not too much wrong that the Dogs did. So they won't move down, but they won't move up because they're kind of just doing what they need to do, man. At the 7th spot, I have Brisbane, who moves down 3 spots after that ass whoop to Melbourne. This is the second ass whoop that they had from Melbourne this year. And this was at the Gavel, which is a big ass deal. They lost at home by 58 points, bro. And they're 3-2 in the last 5, which is not too bad at 6-4. But they're trending downwards, bro. Brisbane hasn't been looking dominant. The dominant side that a lot of people would expect Brisbane to be. They've been faltering, they've been stumbling, they've been getting by. Like I said, they could have lost to the Saints had Max King kicked right, and they got smacked by Melbourne, bro. And against the good teams, bro, you're not doing what you need to do, bro. You're not looking. I'm kind of starting to doubt you going into finals. Just seeing the effort that you're putting up, knowing that you can't defend like that. You're just relying on the offensive firepower to get you over the hump, bro. So I don't think that's good for Brisbane. A little worried, and they definitely get penalized for not being the team that people thought they were, bro. So, yep, it's a tough torch to carry with that reputation, bro. So you move down to the 7th spot. All right, at 6 we'll have Fremantle, 3-1-1. So three wins, 1 draw, 1 loss, and 6-3-1. So 6 wins, 3 losses, and 1 draw in the last 10. Fremantle staying at 6. Play the GWS team. We see where GWS is at. They're not really too competitive. I mean, they can be competitive, but they're not anybody that we expect to. They beat Carlton. GWS lost to Carlton, so that's saying something, bro. We know we lose to the sorry team sometimes. But yeah, Fremantle just taking care of business, bro. Doing what they need to do. Not looking too extravagant. Not looking bad though. So they're staying at 6. I think Melbourne, who's a spot above them, and Melbourne jumped them this week, up 2 spots. 3-2 in the last 5 and 6-4 in the last 10. I think they're looking more convincing than Freo this week, and really in the last couple weeks, I think. Yeah, and I think Melbourne, they're looking like the dangerous team going back into finals, bro. They're looking like they know how to get it done. They whoop Brisbane ass on the road, so that's looking great for them. Even in close, so they're whooping ass, but even in close contests as we've seen against the Carlton last week, they know how to get pull a game out the mud, if you will. And that's something that I think teams need to do if they want to win a premiership. And they already have that pedigree under the belt because obviously they've done it last year. So stronger form by Melbourne at the end of the season. They were looking like they were faltering towards the middle a little bit, but they're looking like they're on the right track. So I'll take that and leave them at the 5 spot. I have Richmond at the 4 spot, who moves up 1 spot. 4 wins, no losses, and 1 draw in the last 5. 6 wins, 3 losses, and 1 draw in the last 10. So Richmond moves up 1 spot, bro. I gave Brisbane the benefit of the doubt over Richmond. Not this week, bro. Richmond definitely keeps moving and climbing. I think they deserve it. They're playing their style of footy, and it's suiting them. They're winning. They're taking care of business. What can you say, bro? They haven't lost in the last 5 games, bro. So they're doing their thing. And other teams above them are really just in even greater form, bro. So prior to this week, they have been. So I want to give them boys a shout out, man. Richmond is looking like one of the more dangerous teams in finals. And I wouldn't want to play them if I'm in the bottom 4, bro. So shout out to Richmond, bro. They're doing their thing. And definitely one of the more dangerous teams in footy right now. So let's stick them at 4. At 3, we have Collingwood, bro. They're staying where they were at last week. 4 wins, 1 loss in the last 5. 9 wins, 1 loss in the last 10, bro. So Collingwood was on the ropes and just continue to do what they've been doing all season, the last 12 games, bro. Win, win, win. No matter if it's close. Obviously, they've been winning all these close contests, and they did it again, bro. Aside from the loss to Sydney that they had, which was 20 plus, 25 plus, I think it was 27, but Collingwood did it, bro. They're the counter-attacking team that we all know, and they're never out of a contest, bro. They know how to keep it competitive, bro, and they did just that. I don't think they played, considering that they were down that much, and they didn't look dominant at times, and they really lost a lot of the key stats against Carlton. I can't have them moving above anybody else, but the fact that they won and the resilience that they showed, I think they deserve to hold down to that 3 spot, bro, considering and how they played in the last couple weeks. So keep Collingwood at 3. At Sydney, we have them at 2, 5-0 in the last 5, and 8-2 in the last 10. They won. They won by more points than Collingwood, so I think it's warranted for them to be up there. They look great. They beat the Saints team, who played tough, hung in there, and yeah, the head-to-head still lingers a little bit. So I can't have Collingwood over Sydney unless Sydney was to lose, and Sydney's another dangerous team. Obviously, once you get to these top teams in the power rankings, bro, these are the teams you do not want to play, bro. Sydney has looked consistent, bro. They tightened up their game, tightened up the contested ball, bro, and they just look dangerous, bro. The inconsistency that they had earlier in the season is kind of non-existent at the moment. And if they don't have that, if they don't have the inconsistency going into finals, then, bro, you're just gonna have one for a treat, bro, as far as these matchups go. So shout out to Sydney at the 2 spot, and of course Geelong number 1, bro. Yet again, 5-0 in the last 5, 10-0 in the last 10, bro. Defense holding strong. Whooped West Coast ass this week, as we all expected. Geelong just looks like the dangerous team, bro. They're a complete team on the list on paper, bro, and they're even playing like a complete team, bro. From the back line to the midfield to the forward line, they're hitting on all cylinders, bro, and they're just doing their thing, bro. Even without Jeremy Cameron, they got it done. They have the forwards to go around, and so people are just replacing. Players just filling their role. Everybody knows how to play. Everybody on Geelong knows what they have to do, and that's what they need to do. I think that they look like the team to beat, maybe at the moment. Yeah, bro, I can't move them down at all. They just haven't lost in such a long time, bro, so I have to keep them up there. So, yep, that's my last power rankings for the season, man. Hope y'all enjoyed it, man. I hope y'all like this segment, man. Let me know if y'all want this power rankings to keep running into next season. Let me know if y'all like this a lot. If you want me to switch it up a little bit, man. I appreciate the support, man. Let me know if you agree, disagree. You can drop your power rankings in the comments if you want to, bro. Definitely look at it, see, take into consideration any points that I may have missed. If you drop those in the comments, appreciate y'all as always, man. Like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube shit. Sign up for the Patreon if you want to, bro. If you want to fuck with us financially, support us in our endeavors, trying to get into Australia and just growing the growth of the footy team, just the growth of the channel in general, bro. So you know what it goes, you know how it goes, man. Yeah, man, I don't think I really got much else to say, man. Just be on the lookout for other videos. Be on the lookout for the Girltown Pirates. You know, we always out here, man. So appreciate y'all.